And we are live. Big up the channel, Chosen Wisdom Football, a channel for the football purists, for the critical thinkers, for the deep thinkers, for the Manchester United fans, or simply the football fans like me who like to think about things maybe a bit too much. Big up yourselves, everybody. Today's show is going to be interesting. I think today's show is going to be epic. What I have in my veins, the energy that I have right now is unmatched right now. I'm ready to explode. Yes, guys, you've all seen the news. You have all heard the news. Rúben Amorim has been fired. He has been sacked. He has left the building, people. The Rúben Amorim era at Manchester United is over, people. It is over. And on today's show, we have so much to get into. Everyone's talking. So much information is now getting released. So much. Everyone's now talking of coming out with news about players and unrest and how he did this. As we know, after the manager goes, we get to hear all the juicy behind the scenes stuff that went down, and by no means is this any less. There has been so many information today that have come out about Rúben Amorim, about the players, about INEOS. And before we start today's show, guys, I just want to make it clear right now. We're going to talk a lot about Rúben Amorim today because he is the subject. He is who has been fired. But let's not let INEOS off the hook right now and right here. INEOS are on fraud watch. They have a lot to answer for. They hired this man in the first place. They did this. And in my opinion, they took too long to make a decision. So by no means, guys, even though we're focusing on the manager, the real problems, as we know, are the Glazers, and INEOS need to take some responsibility. So we are on today's show, guys. Big up the chat. Big up Turkish. I see Turkish in this chat. I see Atro as well. Big up Atro. We have survived Amorim, says Atro in the chat. Big up Atro. Big up the community. You guys have been patient. Today we're gonna start off. Taking a look at the actual press conference. We're gonna listen to what he actually said that started this chain of events. As you can see from the thumbnail, that picture of Rúben Amorim was taken after he got the sack. And look at him. Nothing's phased him. Smiling, shades on, wearing his expensive jacket, waiting for his £15 million payout, living the life. Not having a care in the world that he's been fired. So it seems from that picture. Good on you, Rúben. Get your money. Get your money, because at the end of the day, these INEOS guys, and we're going to talk about you and your failures, but they dragged you out of your job, promised you gold, honey, and all the things in the world. Did they give you what they promised to give you? I don't know. But they dragged you out of your situation. They knew what formation you played. They knew what system you played. They knew about you and what you wanted, what you expected, and what you wanted to achieve, and they still hired you anyway. So this thing is complicated. It's multifaceted, but this guy is look at him there. Picture taken after he got sacked, just living it up. Amorim, good on you, bro. Good on you. I don't hate you for getting that bag, for getting that nice payout. But as I've said, let's start, guys, by listening to his press conference comments, guys, that led to this. Let's take a listen. Let's take a listen together.
And I noticed that you receive selective information about everything. I came here to be the manager of Manchester United, not to be the coach of Manchester United. And that is clear. I know that my name is not Tuchel, is not Conte, is not Mourinho, but I'm the manager of Manchester United. And it's going to be like this for 18 months, or when the board decided to change. So that was my point. I want to finish with that. I'm not going to quit. I will do my job until other guy is coming here to replace me.
Do you feel that, you know,
Rúben Amorim. When he did that, when he said that on Sunday after the draw, I thought to myself, there's nothing he can do to get fired. That's what I thought, guys, because what he said there, as bad as it is, he has said worse things in press conferences. He has said worse things. His record is bad. So they did not fire him for saying worse things, in my opinion, before, but they fired him when he called them out. Press play again. Well,
maybe certain assurances around things about the ability to manage this team that you thought you had? Do you not feel that?
I just want to say that I'm going to be the manager of this team, not just the coach. And I was really clear on that. And that is going to finish in 18 months. And then everyone is going to move on. That was the deal. That is my job, not to be a coach. If people cannot handle the Gary Nevilles and the criticisms of everything, we need to change the club.
wow.
No, guys, I just want to say that I came here to be the manager of Manchester United, not to be the coach. And every department, the scouting department, the sport director needs to do their job. I will do mine for 18 months and then we move on.
All right, thank you,
Okay.
guys.
There is so much there, guys. So much there. First and foremost, can we just address the fact that he said he came to be the manager? His job title is head coach. The last manager we actually had was Ten Hag. He had rights to veto on signings and so on and so forth. This guy was actually hired as a head coach. The reason why we hired him as a head coach is because the fan base were crying and screaming for a long time for Manchester United to change the hierarchy, to be modern, to keep up with modern football. So after all the screaming, we then said, cool, we'll get the CEO, we'll get a director of football, we get a head of recruitment, we'll structure our football club in a way where we don't need a manager like most clubs and we have a head coach. Right. That's what we did, and everyone was happy about that. We then signed this guy, hired him to be a head coach. Somehow, whether it's because of some disagreement or information being misconstrued, he believes he is the manager, and clearly he wants more power than he currently has. And the thinking is that him and, of course, the director of football, Jason Wilcox, do not see eye to eye. He probably wants more power with regards to recruitment and all these things, and we're not willing to give him that. His record doesn't show that he warrants to be given that power. And so I feel like he is sharing a disconnect that he has with the hierarchy above. That is why he is gone. Not because of his bad results or anything like that, is because the hierarchy was called out, which is very, very interesting. He also mentioned the likes of Gary Neville and the fact that if you're not able to handle the criticism from him, then I don't know. Or people should be able to handle the criticism from the Gary Nevilles and not react and still stay on course. Clearly, for me, my opinion is this. There's been talk about changing formations and changing systems as well, guys. And I believe that pressure to change has come from above him. He doesn't want to change. He doesn't want anyone to be telling him what formation to play, what system to play, or anything like that. He doesn't want to be told that. But at the moment, he's now been given clear direction to play a certain way, and he doesn't like that. What's Ivan saying? Big up Ivan in the chat. However, I do feel like Amorim engineered his sacking. He could lose all the games and still be safe. So he called out the board as his final move for the sack. Says Ivan. I hear that, Ivan. I understand that. That's definitely a theory out there. It's definitely a theory out there. He engineered his sacking. After he was told that he had to play a certain way, after he's been told that, wing back, we're not going to get wing backs, after he had the meeting about playing 4-3-3 and changing, he thought to himself, do you know what? I don't want to be here. That could be a thing. I get that. And I'm going to speak out, say what I need to say. But the thing is, he said worse than this. He said things like the players are rubbish. He came out and he said this is the worst Manchester United side in history. No manager is ever supposed to say that. He said that, and then we finished 15th. He came out and he said this is the worst. Imagine going to work, guys, at your job, your day job, right? And then going home and then turning on the news and seeing your manager saying, oh, Shivam, Atro, Ivan, these are the worst employees ever. This is the worst team I've ever managed. They're incompetent. You wouldn't like that. You're going to have to go work tomorrow and still work for that manager who just called you the worst ever. So when he said last season that this is the worst Man United side in history, I thought to myself, wow, he came and he's destroying the confidence of the players. And then we finished 15th, and we wonder why we finished 15th when one of the first things he said was Rashford's not good enough. This is the worst players ever. All of these things. I thought, wow, these guys think this is good management. This is not good. Being emotionally unstable and not being able to hold your tongue in an interview and just saying whatever comes to your mind, throwing people under the bus, is not a good trait for anyone in a high position. Let's move on. Because, guys, there's a lot for us to get through. There's a lot of information now coming out about certain things that happened. So now that Amorim has been sacked, and guys, I haven't given my opinion yet. I got a lot more to say about Amorim being sacked. But now that he's been sacked, we now find out that he's gone with immediate effect. 14 months he's been in the job. And now we've been told that Darren Fletcher is expected to take over at Manchester United. Darren Fletcher. This is probably the disappointing thing. It's because it's happened suddenly. We clearly didn't plan this. It's clearly happened after his interview, and we just had enough. And because of that, Darren Fletcher walks in as interim manager. That's not ideal. Ideally, you want your main guy to come in straight away, but we understand that's not an option right now. Fletcher will take over with immediate effect, so he will be the manager when we take on, who we playing on Wednesday? Burnley on Wednesday, a game, and he's taking over training today. So a game we could win, a game that I'm expecting him to line up with 4-3-3 and not play wing backs. So I don't want Fletcher here for long at all. I don't care if Fletcher wins 10 games in a row. We should not be giving him the job. He has never managed before. Listen, I wouldn't mind for the next few games we bring Ollie and we bring Carrick just to see us through the next few games. I don't want Fletcher by himself. I don't even like the idea that Fletcher has two sons in the academy, in the first team squad at the moment. Because imagine Fletcher coming in and we see... imagine Darren Fletcher coming in and we see his two sons start. My Lord, I will pull my hair out. I never thought we would get worse than Ten Hag. But I do believe the stats also back me up that Amorim is objectively worse. I mean, Ten Hag won us 2 trophies. He won a trophy in his first season and his second season, Ten Hag. I never knew we were going to get someone objectively worse than Ten Hag. Nobody did. Everybody, and I want to make this clear, whether you were Amorim in or Amorim out, or some of you guys were Amorim in, some of you guys were Amorim out, everybody gave this man the opportunity. Everybody gave this man grace. He came in and he said wing backs and no wingers. We were all like, wow, we're not going to see wingers ever again at Old Trafford. We still said, okay, cool. He talked about, I play with inside 10s, I play with wing backs, I play 3 at the back. All these things, and we still gave him grace. For 12 months, the worst manager objectively in the history of this club, and a lot of us, including me, still gave him grace. When the likes of Kobe Mainoo wanted out because they couldn't get into the team, and that we still gave him, a lot of us still gave him grace. So this man has had more opportunities to turn things around than any other manager. Like, if this was Van Gaal, he would have been fired after 3 months. If this was any other period in Man United history, he wouldn't have lasted this long at all, guys. And I think that is also clear. And like I said at the beginning of the show, guys, this show will be about Amorim. But please, guys, INEOS are not off the hook. INEOS are not off the damn mother effing hook. This mess is of INEOS's making. Let me be clear one more time. Even if I'm focusing on Amorim, I'm not forgetting INEOS and the Glazers. And we must never forget these motherfuckers. Yeah? So, he's gone. So, Fletcher is taking over as interim. David Ornstein broke that news. Let's now look at Man United's official statement, people. Let's see how United are spinning this. Spin, 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 spin. Let's see how United are spinning all of this and trying to make themselves look professional, trying to make it like it was planned. Let's have a look at Manchester United's official statement. Rúben Amorim has departed his role as head coach of Manchester United, full stop. First of all, I like the fact that they said head coach. The whole interview, the statement that everyone is talking about, that we all listen to, Rúben said, I came here to be the manager. The manager. He said the word manager 3 or 4 times. Man United took the piss and said he's departed his role as head coach. His title is head coach. He is the head coach. He's not the manager. And I think we all knew this. Ten Hag was the last manager we had. He was appointed as head coach. And he's departed his role as head coach. With Manchester United sitting 6th in the Premier League, the club's leadership has reluctantly made the decision that it is the right time to make a change. Full stop. My question is, why is now the right time to make the change? Is it because you are hurt? Because the manager called out the hierarchy, that's when they decided to fire him. They didn't fire him when he said the players were rubbish. They didn't fire him when he said that he wanted to leave, or sometimes I want to quit, all these things. They didn't let him go after throwing the academy under the bus, after having 25% win rate last year, after losing to Tottenham. They didn't let him go after any of these things. But the minute he spoke up against the hierarchy, they said, no, we can't have that. So don't get it twisted, guys. I'm happy Amorim's gone, but it does not mean I am happy with INEOS. There's 2 villains here. There's not INEOS are good guys and Amorim's villain. There's just villains and villains and villains. There's loads of heels. No baby faces. No baby faces. So big up the chat. I see everyone chatting. Let me know. The statement goes on to read, this will give the team the best opportunity of the highest possible Premier League finish. The club would like to thank Rúben for his contribution to the club and wishes him well for the future. Very, very professional. They're not saying anything really apart from he's departed. We're sitting in 6th. This is the right time. And good luck. As you would expect from a massive organization like Manchester United. So that was the Man United statement, trying to save face, trying to look professional. But let's be honest, guys, this is a shit show. This is a shit show. 100%. Rúben Amorim, tweet from Fabrizio Romano that you guys might be interested in. Rúben Amorim was sacked by Manchester United, which means he remains under contract at United until 2027 and will keep getting his salary unless there's a club that wants him in the next months, and then they will negotiate his exit. So that is one of the reasons, guys, that they didn't want to fire him. They're still going to have to pay him. He is still on the books at Manchester United. That's how it works. The contract he's negotiated means, yes, I'm fired, but I'm still on the books and you still pay me. So unless this happens, guys, he's going to be sitting there getting paid. He's going to be sitting there getting paid, and they did this. They did this. INEOS. David Brailsford, to be precise. Let's go back in time and understand it was David Brailsford, somebody who doesn't know anything about football, a businessman, the CEO, the guy at the top, who went and hired Amorim. It should have been the director of football, Jason Wilcox, and the footballing people to help make that decision. But that decision to hire Rúben Amorim was made by somebody who is not a footballing man. Wilcox was against it, and so was Dan Ashworth. Ashworth was fired or let go, but Wilcox was never a fan and has never been a fan. From now on, David Brailsford does not need to be making any footballing decisions at Manchester United Football Club. Let the footballing, because that's the point, the whole point of the footballing hierarchy, the new modern setup, let the footballing people make the footballing decisions. From now on, David Brailsford. Because you, technically speaking, if it was up to me, I would fire David Brailsford. I would sack David Brailsford if it was up to me. I would. What the hell's going on? But it is what it is. Before I move on, let me quickly bang out the chat, see what the chat's saying. Ivan in the building. Atro, yep. Tim, what a shambles, says Tim. Tim, listen, there's so much I need to get through. You guys haven't heard anything yet. A lot of the things that we've been saying about formations and all these things, yeah, we're going to read some stuff because as usual, guys, when the manager leaves, the juicy stuff comes out. And I'm telling you, there's some interesting things that have come out. As soon as he left, bam, everyone's just tweeting. All the truth is coming out. All lies if you think they're lies. It's crazy. Big up Shivam. Big up Shivam, bro. Today's a very sad day for our club. We have been robbed again. Lies and no vision. Yeah. As much as this is going to be a lot about Amorim, as I keep repeating, this does not show INEOS in a good light either. They think they're saving face. They are not saving face. Big up Shivam in the chat. Only one good thing I pointed after the match is in the chat that Rúben is on fire. It led to a sacking. Yeah, Shivam. Shivam is, to be fair, big up Shivam. Because I remember, was it Sunday, Shivam, you were telling me to check out his press conference. And I said, oh, his post-match interview. And I said, Shivam, this is boring. What interview? And when I finally checked it out, Shivam, I was like, whoa. I remember, listen, when the sack news came up, I was at work. I went to work today. If you guys don't know, I don't do YouTube full-time. I don't. So I work my 10-hour day. And I come home and I do 2 hours of YouTube. Yeah. And I'm not monetized, so I don't get paid. Work. Tired. Bags. Life. It is what it is. So I'm at work, typing, looking at the news, listening to certain things. And all I see is Rúben Amorim got sacked. And I'm there sitting at my desk with all my work colleagues working and doing whatever, and I'm thinking, Rúben Amorim got sacked. He got sacked for the comments he made. I knew the comments were a bit weird, and he didn't think through his comments, but he said worse things. You know when someone's hit rock bottom, finished 15th, done all of these things, 25% win ratio, lost against Tottenham, said he wants to quit, said he hates the players, said it threw the academy under the bus, all these things. He's done worse things and still not get fired. So for me, they're going to keep this guy. Like, the only way they're going to fire him is if he gets a baby and he throws the baby into the river. Maybe they'll fire him because of that. Other than that, there's no bottom. So when I saw that he'd been sacked, I was like, what? They didn't sack him because of that. And then he's been sacked. I'm like, no way. They've actually sacked him. And then I sat down and I thought to myself, I wanted Amorim out. I am Amorim out, but these INEOS motherfuckers. This is a sad day for the club, you know. No, even if you're Amorim out, yeah, and you are happy that he's gone, I don't think I'm Amorim out, but I'm not happy. I'm still not happy because the unknown, now what's going to happen? Fletcher, what manager are we going to get in? That unknown is uncomfortable. So even the Amorim outers, like me, I didn't really like him. I don't know if we're happy that he's gone, but the situation is not a good situation. So there shouldn't be so much joy. I'm not rejoicing. I'm not rejoicing, even though I'm happy that he's gone. And I think the reason why I'm not rejoicing, even though I'm happy that he's gone, is because my trust in INEOS to make the right managerial decision is not very high. I'm frightened that they're going to make a wrong decision and bring in another person that's not right. I am worried. I am scared. The recruitment stuff and other stuff they've done okay stuff. So, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Let me see what the chat's saying. Tim's at what a shambles. Big up TK in the building, man. Big up T Kizzle. Hey, fam. Slow news day for football, yeah? Yeah, man. There's nothing to talk about today, TK. Shivam said the three Fletchers are gonna ruin us together. So funny. Listen. Big up Eddie as well. No, I thought I saw Eddie. Yeah, I'm not seeing things are not coming through to me. The last message I see is from TK. I can't see some of the comments, guys. I know the chat is chatting, but I'm not seeing comments. I'm only seeing TK is the last comment I see, which is annoying because I want to get involved with the chat, with the conversation. So big up everybody. Like I said, nothing. Big up everybody. Let's move on. What else has come out from the sacking, guys? Let's find out. All right, let's see what people are saying about new appointments, guys. If there's any kind of talk about who the new appointment may be. There's so many. Listen, I don't know. Where should we take the show right now? There's so many things we can talk about, guys. So let me know in the comment section, in the chat, kind of where you want the show to be geared towards. Do you want to talk about possible new managers today in the show? Do you want to talk about our current manager, Fletcher? Do you want to talk about Rúben Amorim's past? Let me know where you want to go with the show, what kind of conversations you guys want to have today. But any appointment from INEOS is likely to be head coach, not a manager. So everyone in the chat understands this, how the club is set up and the structure. The next guy comes in is going to be a head coach. Shut your mouth, coach, and get the team to win. All the other stuff, let us worry about that stuff. We recruit not for you. We recruit for the football club. Which is why I don't understand why they hired a manager that played 5 at the back, that played wing backs, when the hierarchy didn't see eye to eye. If you're going to hire a manager that does that, it means fundamentally, that's the way that the club has decided to play. And if the club fundamentally have decided to play that way, then you have to play that way from the academy too. So you can produce the wing backs that you need, so you can produce the players in certain positions that you need. It has to be from top to bottom, if that is the way that Man United will play. But clearly, we didn't change the academy. We didn't change it on the 23s. The only team that were playing this formation was the first team. Let's read on, guys. This is Ben Jacobs. Ben Jacobs obviously has a show on the United Stand. When Erik ten Hag was the manager, he had a veto on all potential transfers. Hence why he could get Højlund. And Højlund signed to his agency. He got Anthony, £100 million. All of these players that he specifically wanted. Whereas Amorim, he has a say, but Cunha, Sesko, Mbumo, they're club signings. I want to make that clear to all of you guys. They're club signings that he can use as part of his system, but these players should be able to play multiple systems. They're club signings. He goes on to say that what Ten Hag has, the veto, is not the same with Amorim. INEOS' position is that they are a coach. He's a coach. He has input, but he doesn't have the autonomy. And that leads back to his comment in the interview. What did he say? I came here as a manager, not the head coach. So somewhere along the lines, guys, this became this. How did you think you are a manager and you had all the autonomy when you're the head coach and you have less autonomy? While at the same time, Amorim can say, listen, I told these guys about my system. I told these guys about the way I play. They said, come on, we need you right now. You have to leave right now and we will adapt and we will get you the players that you need. So from Rúben Amorim's perspective, that's what he will say, right? So that's why this is not easy. It's difficult. Like I said, I'm happy that Amorim's gone, but INEOS, fraud watch. Big up the chat. Now I can see the comments. Fine. Wow. Finally, I can see the comments. Guys, I couldn't see the chat at all, bro. At all. And now I can see the big up Eddie, motherfucker. Eddie in the chat. Ivan, my guys. Shivs, T Kizzle in the bizzle. Yo, Tank. Oh, new guys as well in the chat. Let me say this properly. Tank Kane Chai. I butchered that. I apologize, bro. Big up in the chat. I'm gonna call you Tank. Big up Tank in the chat. Federal week-old charges. Hello, lads. Welcome to the Insanity Club. The cycle is, yeah, guys, this feeling that we've all got. Because I know some of you guys are gonna feel angry. Some of you guys are gonna feel upset that he's gone. Some of you are gonna feel worried. What's over the hill? What's over the wall? What's next? Are we going to make the right decision? The apprehension, the nervousness that a lot of us are feeling. We are the disillusion as well. I bet we're feeling like, what the hell is going on at this football club? Some of us wanted consistency and wanted to keep the manager as long as possible. And I understand that. I understand that feeling. So, guys, this is a space. This is a space for everyone to just say what they need to say. Tank says, I love Man United club, but not the owner, Glazers and INEOS. Big up Tank in the chat. What's TK saying? My theory is Liverpool is also going to sack Slot, and United didn't want to be tied down to Ruby for when managers like Glasner, Xavi, Emery, and Howe start jumping shit. See, TK is always saying something smart. This guy, man. This guy's always trying to say something smart. I like that, TK. Ivan says, I never liked Amorim. Yep, I read that. But be honest, I don't feel the adrenaline after his sacking because he got sacked for the wrong reasons. Ivan, my boy. That's kind of how I feel, Ivan. I wish he got sacked because he wasn't good enough as a manager rather than he called us out, get rid of him. That's my thing, Ivan. So I'm with you. Eddie says it's a fucking mess. What's Eddie saying? Eddie, what are you saying, my bro? Apparently, he was already sacked before the Leeds game. Yeah, let's get Eddie. The show just started, Eddie. There's loads more to get through. It's gonna get juicy, Eddie. It's gonna get juicy, guys. The stuff that I've got to get through about the Leeds game, what Wilcox told him to do, how Wilcox told him to change formation, all these things, and he went against. Listen, it's messy. It's messy, very messy, guys. I'm gonna try to read out as many of your comments as I can, guys. But as you can imagine, yeah, the comments are popping off, guys. The chat's popping off. So apologies if I don't read out everyone's conversations. Shivam says he wants Emery. Shivam, I've always said, look what Emery has done with Aston Villa over the past 3 years. With who the fuck are Aston Villa? How dare Aston Villa qualify for Champions League? Who are Aston Villa? I'm joking. Aston Villa actually got a big heritage. They've got big history. But what he's done with Aston Villa, Emery, come over here, sit down and manage my club right now. Come here, sit down, sign a contract, manage my club right now. Gerald Robinson says, fuck you, United owner club. Oh, Gerald, what are you saying? Were you supporting the manager and you're disappointed with what INEOS have done? Talk to me, Gerald. Talk to me. This is a place where you can talk openly, my guy. Tank says, wasted another 3 years, says Tank, to build a team and challenge. Have we wasted? Because Cunha and Bumo can play for any manager. We've got Ahmad. All we need to get is our midfielders next summer, and we have a decent team. Have we really wasted? I really believe that Shaw, Maguire, Dallo would go before a new manager. Yeah, Shiv, that's another thing, Shiv. Certain players are still here before the manager goes. Federico charges, hello lads, welcome to the Insanity Club. The cycle is doing good. Fire the manager, improve for 2 months with the new manager, struggle for 9 months, fire the manager again. Yeah, I hear you, Fredo. It doesn't look good. It looks, I mean, that's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing and expecting different results. Wiz and everyone, when have you seen a manager being sacked for asking for a CM and left wing back? I guess it's made our team better. Why the sack? It's doomsday. Big up 20th century football. Jim lied. Amorim sacked, sold a project, delivered chaos. Fans blamed, board untouched. Same movie every season, says 20. I hear you. You can't reject what man just said. What 20th century football just said right now is the story. It's the story of United. So big up the chat. Sausage in the building. What are you saying, Sausage, man? Are you happy or are you sad, my bro? What are you saying? It's already Tuesday here. Amorim news is old news, bruh. All right, cool. Let's go. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, 3 years comments were made for optics. And realistically, realistically, the board were given Rúben Amorim 38 games or a calendar year in charge before making a proper decision. I remember the interview, guys, if you want to talk about this. I remember when he said, I'm going to give Rúben Amorim 3 years, and I just went, oh my God, no, you can't just give someone 3 years who's failing. But I thought to myself, that doesn't make no sense. What if he gets us relegated? Are you still going to give him 3 years? So clearly, him saying I'm going to give Amorim 3 years is him saying I want to give him 3 years. Just like when you start working at a new job, they want you to work there forever until you retire. But if you come into work one day and slap your manager around the face, that forever might turn into just one day. If you do that on your first day, slap your manager around the face on your first day, that you being here until you retire will turn into you're going to be here for one day. So what you want and what you're going to get are two different things. He could want this manager to be here for 3 years, but if he's not good enough, he's going to have to let him go. And that's probably where I am. If you don't believe in hiring and sacking, you don't believe in that, right? But everyone's doing it. Real Madrid do it and they win titles all the time. Chelsea do it and they win titles. Football is heading to a direction where the setup is there. The team is there. The DOF, the CEO, everything, the head of recruitment, everyone is there. You don't need a manager. All you need is a head coach. Therefore, you can actually chop and change your coach often because he has less responsibilities. He's not a manager anymore. Some of these duties have been taken away from him. So the way football is now, yeah, if you're not doing well in a certain amount of time and we don't see results, you go fuck off. And that's just the state of football now, guys. It's just how it is. So while I like continuity, I like longevity, I like a manager to be here for a long while. If he doesn't prove himself in the first year or two, then why am I gonna? My standard to keep a manager for a long time shouldn't be above the quality of the manager. If he's not good enough, I don't care. Get rid of him. Even though I want longevity, if he's not good enough, get rid of him. So I find that's a bit interesting. Very, very interesting. Like I said, Dave Brailsford does not ever need to make a footballing decision ever again. This, if it was up to me, I would fire Dave Brailsford. I mean, if it's up to me, I'll get rid of INEOS and Glazers, obviously. But I can't do that. Let's move on, people. Big up the chat. Big up the chat. This is interesting, guys. So this is where it gets juicy, people. This is where it gets juicy. And if you are familiar with this channel, if you've been, dropping in and out of this channel, if you are familiar with my views, you will know a lot of this. I've told you guys this. The one thing about this channel is that I know what I'm talking about because I think very deeply about things. Here we go. In a clear the air meeting after the draw to Wolves, Jason Wilcox wanted more tactical adaptability and lowered expectations regarding January deals. I know Shivam is not going to be happy with that because Shivam wants January signings, but if there's no money, then there's no money. And also, it is what it is, right? Amorim was furious with this, which accelerated tensions. Amorim questioned how, with a currently depleted squad, he can succeed when changing tactical style. And if I'm being honest, guys, I think Amorim is also making a point here. That's why, as much as I wanted him out, as I keep saying, I'm watching INEOS. Because INEOS promised Amorim certain things, clearly told him certain things that they haven't delivered on. He obviously thought he was going to get players in January or a player in January. I told you guys in the chat, we are not going to buy anyone in January. There is news now coming out about Semenyo, and we'll talk about that as well. That is quite juicy. But this is what Amorim is talking about. Amorim wants more control, more say, but he's been told by someone above him to change the way he plays football. He's been told by Jason Wilcox to be more flexible, to essentially play with a back four. If the players play better in a back four and they play better in a 4-3-3, forget your stupid system. Play the system that works the best for the players, that you get the best out of the players. At the same time, Amorim does not want to be told what system to use, how to play, what players to play. He doesn't want to be told this. So there is clear conflict of interest now forming. Let's read on, guys. Let's read on. This is Ben Jacobs now come out and said this. Rúben Amorim wasn't concerned about mitigating circumstances in regards to the transfer window. His outlook was back me or sack me. Don't really know what to say about that. I didn't. But it is what it is. All right. How does this stuff impact players? And the reason why I feel like I'm gonna spend a minute, just a quick minute on this one, is because a lot of us consumed everything that Rúben Amorim put out there. We adopted his system as God. And some of us wanted to get rid of Kobe Mainoo and some other players, not because they're not good footballers, simply because they did not fit Rúben Amorim's system. A system that can change whenever he wanted it to change. And once he changes it and make it into a three-man midfield, then Kobe Mainoo would come alive. I saw some of you in the chat basing your football knowledge, and not even basing your football knowledge, basing who should we sell and who we should buy and who we should let go simply on the manager's rigid system. And I kept saying, listen, this manager can get sacked tomorrow. If the manager gets sacked tomorrow and we sold Kobe Mainoo and the new manager comes in and says, man, I want to play 4-3-3. I wish I had a Kobe Mainoo. What then? What then? I didn't like when some of you guys in the chat were saying we should sell Ahmad and all these things, and Kobe Mainoo, we should sell Kobe. And I'm thinking, I'm not prepared, and I'm so happy the club didn't do this. I'm not prepared to sell any of our really good footballers, our promising youngsters, because they do not fit this rigid system that I do not even like, that nobody plays and nobody wants. And I don't understand that logic. So I'm happy now. Because Kobe Mainoo is for me, he's a great footballer. He's a good footballer. And I want to see him develop and I want to see him grow. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to Kobe, because there's no certainty that the new manager is going to like Kobe, is going to like Xerxes. There's no certainty of that. At all. Absolutely none. So I just feel like just a quick word on that. Let me see what the chat is saying. Jim lied. Dave Brelford has left the club already. Who's the CEO then? Who's the Omar Barada? Why am I saying Dave Brailsford? I keep saying David Brailsford, bro. I meant Omar Barizzle. Omar Barada. Sorry, guys. I kept saying Brailsford. I meant Omar Barada. Shivam says, I think so. Players should also get a piece of voting before sacking any manager. Cunha and Mbumo came in because of Amorim and his style of play. He wanted Watkins. I don't know if Cunha and Mbumo, I think, to be fair, Shivam, Cunha and Mbumo are Manchester United fans. They would have come regardless of Rúben Amorim. I don't think anyone has come to this football club because Rúben Amorim's here. He's not a big enough manager. He's not anyone that you'd want to come and play for. I can't really see that being a thing. Oh, I want to go to Man United to play for Rúben Amorim? Maybe, Shivam. I just don't know. That's all. All things considered, I am meh. If Amorim stayed or left, 38% winning record and constant outburst versus getting us up to 6th. Sausage, I hear what you're saying, bro. I think a lot of people are feeling like that. There's no euphoria that he's gone. It's just, what do we do now? Literally, it's like, what do we do now? Federal says, imagine Luke Shaw has sacked how many managers? Yeah, good point. Euro has already sacked 2 managers. He's only 18. That's funny. Imagine Lenny Euro has sacked 2 managers, and he's only 18. That's funny. But Luke Shaw is 6 coaches deep now. His resume would read, I've outlasted everyone. Let me show you the food court at Carrington. Oh my lord, bro. Hi, I'm Luke Shaw. I've outlasted all these managers and I'm still getting paid. Let me show you how I done it. Come on, let me show. Luke Shaw on YouTube, bro. His YouTube channel. Oh man. I just emailed in the UK, yeah. We say CV. But I'm thinking America, they say resume, right? I just emailed my resume to United. Seems like a decent short gig with huge Chevron. Listen, Sausage, I'm with you. Let's all do it. Let's all email Man United right now and hand in our CV, our resume, and see if we can all get a job. Let's all do it. Big up Dara in the chat as well. Yeah, so it is what it is. All right. Solskjaer rumors. Let's see what this is a bit funny, guys. It's a little bit. So Fabrizio has come out. Fabrizio, this is him now. He's excited. He's tweeting all over the gaff. He's just calling everybody, getting all the juicy information and typing things out and just pressing enter. On Rúben Amorim and Solskjaer rumors of becoming interim manager. What do you guys think about Solskjaer coming back? Listen, please, guys, not permanent manager. What do you guys think about him coming back for a few games and helping? I don't want Fletcher by himself and helping out Fletcher with Carrick or something. What do you guys actually think about something like that? Not long term, and even if they win 5 games in a row, don't give them the permanent job, you flipping idiots. Keep your dick in your pants. Don't get excited. Don't rub one out. Chill out. Anyway, let's go back to the tweet. What's Fabrizio saying? This is not similar to what happened with Enzo Maresca. I think it's to be... People want to compare Enzo's situation with Chelsea and Amorim's situation with United. And it's not actually the same, people. It's not the same. And that's what Fabrizio Romano is saying anyway. So let's read on. Enzo Maresca decided to leave Chelsea. He left. He decided to leave because he didn't see eye to eye. That's different. Rúben Amorim was sacked. So they're both treated differently. They both left differently. Rúben Amorim remains under contract until 2027. We know that already. He said that already. His salary is still on the books until our next club comes in and can negotiate an exit. In terms of interim candidates now, this is what he's saying, this guy, this Fabrizio person. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would be more than open about joining and returning to Manchester United. But at the moment, nothing more than this. I'm just putting it out there to my chat, letting my chat know what the rumors are. That's it, guys. That's all. Nothing has been decided. Still no name for the future Man United caretaker manager, and especially the permanent manager. At the end of the day, maybe what Man United need right now is vibes. Maybe they need, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the opposite. Maybe Amorim was too formation and rigid and systems and wing backs and stay here and That's Amorim. Solskjaer, we didn't like Solskjaer because Solskjaer didn't have tactics. Solskjaer was free. Solskjaer was vibes. Solskjaer was play. Just let the boys, let the lads play. And after a while, when we won with Solskjaer, it was fun. Then we started realizing there was limitations. He wasn't that tactical at all. Maybe what we need right now is a couple games and manager bounce, some vibes to fill the players with confidence before the new manager comes in and says, cool, this is what we're going to do. I don't know, guys. I'm just putting it out there. You just let me know what you're thinking about this. Would you take Solskjaer back or no? Is this a no-go? Absolutely no-go. Or what? What are you guys thinking? TK saying Romano is relevant again. Yeah, all through the last month, he ain't said nothing. The transfer window has closed, so he ain't said nothing. AFCON is going on. Man ain't said nothing about no AFCON. Romano's just, now all of a sudden, he's relevant. OGS coming back for 5 months. Why? We can just use AI to form systems and formations, can we not? TK, I know you're saying that in a sarcastic way, my guy. That's where we are heading. That's where we are heading. We're heading to the point where we might not even we don't need a manager anymore, right? And the head coach kind of needs to be on the training ground. The DOF might start picking a team by using some stats and some data. I think, yeah, as funny as TK trying to be right there with AI stuff, we're a lot closer to that than I think a lot of us think. There's a lot of thinking there. But Federal Recall Charges said the Fletcher twins were praying for this day. Daddy! Yeah, my daddy's my boss. My daddy's my manager. Daddy, you better play me or you're not my daddy. I think, yeah, they already spoke to Darren Fletcher behind the scenes a few games ago. This is my thing. We're going to see the tweet. We're going to read about it. I think the throwing the academy players under the bus was disgusting. And I know some people defended it, but you just don't do that at Man United. And I think they took note. I think after the Wolves game, that was it. We can't be drawing to Wolves at home. And I believe a conversation was already taking place about changing systems, about being more flexible. They already spoke to him about this. I said, listen, Amorim, you got so many players there that can play in different formations. Try something else. And when they saw that 20 minutes against Newcastle and Aston Villa, when we went to the back four and we played really good football, and then he reverted back to the back five during the same game, when they saw how good we played with the back four, they must have said, why is he still playing with the back three? A conversation took place with the hierarchy and Rúben following those games, and it was said, listen, Rúben, you got to change the way you play. And Rúben, in his stubbornness, probably thought to himself, how dare you? How dare you ask? I play the way I play. We thought we were going to line up a certain way, and the reason why it was put out there that we're going to play 4 at the back in some games is because genuinely that's what he was told to do. He was told to play 4 at the back, and he at the last minute probably changed it to a back 5. The last 2 games actually, he played his system, 3 at the back, wing backs. Played Dorgu in the 10. Even though he can change formation and play a different system and accommodate the plays better, he decided to play his rigid system and put Dorgu in a 10. I think stuff like that, we see it, and it seems as if they also see it. So this I reckon is probably arguably the most important thing I'm going to say to you guys in this whole show. I'm about to now go through a series of events that's been laid out that I agree with that have led to this sacking. And you guys will let me know if you agree with these series of events, if you disagree, if you think it was warranted, whatever. Just comment, what you guys do. So this is what Simon Stone has put together. Let's look at the timeline of this and wrap this whole thing up in a nice little bow. So we as a channel, we as a fan base, we just know more than the other channels. We just know more about, we do. We know more than most of these guys because they don't talk the way that we speak, guys. They don't. All right, here we go. With his tactics and ongoing concern and a hierarchy already distinctively unimpressed by his brutal dismissal of academy players, as well as criticism of senior members of the squad, they were always likely to choose the second option. Wow. What's the second option? What's what option? What do you mean second option? What does that mean? What does that mean? Scroll up. How does it start? Up. That goes falling down since go up. All right, cool. So this is the article. Just some interesting parts of the article. United had already tried to persuade long-term target Anton Semenyo to join them from Bournemouth by telling him he would play on the left wing. This is what I want to talk about. When we as a fan base said, or when we heard that we were after Anton Semenyo, what did I say to you guys? I said we play with wing backs. Anton Semenyo is like Amad Diallo. They play wide, right? They play wide. So unless Anton Semenyo is going to play in the 10, narrow, or as a wing back, what the hell is he coming here for? It seems as if we spoke to Amorim about changing formation. And also, when we spoke to Semenyo, we said to him, don't worry. You're going to play on the wings. Don't worry about what you see. Don't worry about the 3-4-2. Don't worry about that, bro. Chill out, bro. Chill out, bro. We got you, bro. You're going to play on the wing. Relax. Of course, he still went to Man City. But that shows that they were already thinking, listen, we're not going to have this system for long. We need to change this shit. For me, that's telling. Big up the chat. Big up Ballin name game. If I were Ollie, I'm not going back knowing same thing. Listen, if I was Ollie, I would stay away. If I was Ollie, I would stay away. All right, let's go on. This is going to be very interesting, guys. That was a clear sign the club viewed the future as being something different to 3-4-3, given they had already spent in excess of 200 million on attacking players. It is no surprise, therefore, the formation against Wolves and subsequent result, a 1-1 draw against a side that had collected just 2 points all season and led to the team being booed off, was viewed extremely negative internally at the club. I said that Wolves result, 1-1, the worst football team in the league. I know that sent them over the edge. Technical director Wilcox spoke to Amorim privately afterwards, encouraging greater tactical flexibility. So after the Wolves game, people, stay with me, that's when Wilcox said to Amorim, okay, Amorim, you played your stupid formation at home against Wolves, or away against Wolves, whatever, and you drew 1-1. Please, Amorim, just play. Can't you be flexible and do something different? You keep doing the same thing and it's not working. But United continued with their back three at Leeds. So you're the technical director or director of football. You go up to this guy, you say what you need to say. Can you be more flexible? He says yes. The next day, he's back doing the same bullshit. That's what's happening. All right, cool. Let's read on. It was another massive backward step in Amorim's relationship with his bosses, and his continued criticism just heightened that situation. Amorim wanted to be left alone to do his job, free from the unwanted influence of Wilcox. That's it, guys. That's what's happened. He wants control. He wants the ownership. He wants to be the manager. That's not how football is these days. Whether you agree with Wilcox or disagree with Wilcox, there is a Wilcox in every single football club. A technical director of football is in every club. He decides on how we play, not the coach. That's just how football is nowadays, guys. Anyway, and I get that Amorim. Amorim wants to just he's like, listen, let me do my job. You are not a manager, Wilcox. What do you know? So don't get it twisted, guys. I also understand that perspective. But it goes on to say, what Amorim felt was interference. So we must understand from Amorim's point of view, this man is interfering with my shizzle. But Amorim's just losing. He's got 25% win rate. So if someone doesn't interfere and try to help you, what are we doing here? So you can see it both ways. So Amorim felt that's interference. United believed it was normal feedback, which had been repeatedly resisted. The situation had become untenable. Yes, United are 6th, in line with pre-season expectations, but they have a squad many believe, not all of you guys in the chat, but many believe could, with a few simple tactical tweaks, deliver much better results. And that is where a lot of Amorim outers are. We don't think the team is the best team or the players are the best players, but we know that the formation and the system, rather than adding 20% to the players, because the system's supposed to make everyone better, right? I don't think the system makes everyone 20% better. I think the system that we deploy makes everyone 20% worse. I think with a change of system and a few tactical tweaks, we're going to look a lot better with the same players. That's my perspective. That's what I think, and I agree with that sentiment. Anyway, guys, on Monday morning at Carrington, Wilcox and Chief Executive Omar Barada told Amorim that he had been relieved of his duties. Yet, United insiders feel Amorim had pledged to adapt when he spoke to them privately. One of their biggest frustrations is he did not follow up on that reality. I knew that. That's what I'm saying. I reckon Amorim said to Wilcox, cool, I will change. Cool, I will adapt. And then after the Wolves game, the Leeds game, and all the other games, we saw the three at the back. And we saw the shit football again. And they just had enough. Anyway, he finishes off by saying transfers, they drew the line at Emilio Martinez. Amorim wanted a World Cup winning goalkeeper. United's power brokers refused to sanction that, preferring to invest in the use of Lemens on a much lower salary. Data analysts concurs with objective judgment that Lemens has the capability to become one of Europe's best goalkeepers at some point. So I thought I would read that out to you guys, to my channel, so you guys get a rough, not even a rough, this is quite detailed to be honest, but at least a picture of what's been going on behind the scenes. And a lot of us thought this. A lot of us saw the comments about formations and changing and the pressure on Amorim coming from Wilcox. We kind of saw this stuff already, but this just confirms a lot of what we believed was happening. Or maybe a lot of you guys didn't know this. At least we have a picture. This is coming from the BBC. This is coming from Simon Stone, which means someone at Man United have given this to him. Of course, this is just one side of the story, but at least it is a story that, in my opinion, has a lot of truth in it. Very, very intriguing, very detailed, interesting series of events that have been laid out for us. Yeah, I think I want to give my personal. Have you got any more news before I give my sort of like? Let me just give my opinion quickly. Let me give my opinion quickly on the whole thing. I'll give my opinion on Amorim first before I give my specific opinion on the sacking. I do not believe Amorim was the right person to choose. I did not believe Amorim was the right person for the job. Unfortunately, as soon as we get a manager in, any manager in, everyone says we back the manager and we put the manager above all the players. And within a month, we put this manager above all the players that we had without even knowing his style of play, without knowing how he likes football, what he thinks about football, what his view on football was. Does it fit with the man? We didn't know any of these things about this man. And a lot of us started singing songs about him and all of these things. We finished 15th last season, the worst season we've ever had. And objectively, he's the worst manager we've ever had. But there's a lot of people who are Amorim out who just hate him, who can't stand him and all these things, where I am 60-40. I can see that, one, he didn't drag himself out of Sporting. They did. Yes, he said yes, but they told him certain things. They said he can bring his system. They said he can bring his formation. They told him they'll probably back him. I can imagine INEOS lied to him a lot. Right? So, with regards to him and him leaving and his tenure here, he will go down as the worst manager we've had since World War II or World War I, whatever it was. That's a fact. His record speaks for itself. But in terms of the sacking itself, there's a part of me, TK and you guys, that the sacking of Amorim, rather than made me feel happy, it actually made me dislike INEOS even more. It made me dislike INEOS more. My opinion of Amorim hasn't changed. All that's happened is that my opinion of Amorim has stayed the same. My dislike for INEOS has risen. So I'm thinking to myself, how can Amorim sacking actually make me actually dislike? Because I wanted him to go, but it made me actually dislike INEOS more rather than like them more. And I had to search within myself and said, hold on a second. It's because they're sacking him because he's calling them out. And I can't be a hypocrite. While I always talk about that if you speak up against the big bully, against the big organizations, against the bigger thing, whether you're a manager or a player, I always say that I like someone who fights. So the fact that Amorim, even though he shouldn't have said it, even though I don't like the fact that he said it, there's a part of me that will always like the fact that somebody speaks up about something. And I kind of like the fact that Rúben said, INEOS guys, you guys are a piece of shit. You guys are getting in my way. I kind of like that. I kind of do. I'm an anarchist. I'm a punk. I don't like capitalism. So I kind of like the fact that Rúben was firing shots, even at the same time thinking, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I think the sacking, for me, raises more questions about INEOS than it actually answers, if that makes sense. That's what I honestly think. The reason why people are happy, but not overly happy today, is because we know INEOS are still here. And we don't trust their ability to go and maybe find a new manager because of this mistake that they made with this manager. So, I don't know. That's kind of where I am. I'm not going to get excited that he's gone because I don't know who we're going to bring in yet. But I am still happy that he's gone. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Bruno Fernandes on Instagram thanking Rúben Amorim. It's quite interesting that he said thank you to Rúben Amorim, because Rúben Amorim made a joke a couple of weeks ago in a press conference when he went, Bruno wants my job. And don't get it twisted. If INEOS are getting rid of this guy because this guy spoke out against them, and you got Bruno Fernandes doing interview upon interview saying how the club are weak, the club wanted me to go, but they didn't have the spine to sort of sell me and all these things. And now that this Portuguese daddy's gone, I don't know what I'll go on with Bruno. I don't know what I'll go on with Bruno, what this means for Bruno. I mean, most of us think he's leaving in the summer anyway, but it is what it is. It is what it is. And that's what I'm saying, guys. We must be able to have, not just be black and white. I hate Amorim. Listen, you can dislike Amorim and his football, but also like some of the things that he does. It's like, that's why I'm 60-40. I saw for 20 minutes when he changed his system against Aston Villa and Newcastle for a little bit, I saw what we could be under him. But he's just so stubborn that he just went back to his dumb, Amorim, you didn't need to be fired, bro. You didn't need to get fired, but it is what it is. It is what it is, people. There's De Ligt as well. So all the players now coming out saying thank you to the manager, De Ligt, Bruno, Amad Diallo, even though he's in AFCON right now. Look at Amad, Look at Amad. Speaking in French, saying thank you, boss. The players don't hate. I mean, if you're getting selected to play every week, you're not gonna hate him. I mean, if you're Xerxes or Kobe Manu, there's a chance that there's a good chance you're not gonna get a goodbye message from Xerxes, and there's a good chance you're not gonna get a goodbye message from Kobe Manu, right? So it is what it is. Who voted Maresca? Would you guys take Maresca? He's a non-fit. He also calls out ownership and the higher ups. Also, guys, the one thing I want to say, we have made it clear that we are after a head coach, and we've made the parameters also clear. What that means, guys, there's a lot of managers who will not want to come here because of that. We need to understand that fully. Yeah, we don't want a manager. I mean, I keep saying manager, but you know what I mean. We don't want a manager. We want a head coach. And Jason Wilcox is going to be breathing down his neck like that. Imagine going to work and have Wilcox just breathing down your neck. Like, move, man. Go over there, man. Let me do my job. That's what's going to happen. So we already approached the Zerbis of this world and the Tuchels of this world, and they said, "No, we don't want to work under that. We don't want to do that." So it might reduce the talent list of managers that we have available under this structure. But a lot of football clubs have the same structure. Even Pep Guardiola is a head coach now. That's his title. He is the head coach. Atro says Zats can stay. Shivam says, I want us to lose every single game so that these top management sell the club and leave. I understand. Listen, I always understand the anarchy of burning the whole thing down. Not everyone understands that, Shivam. You have people saying, oh, why do you want Man United to lose? How can you want Man United to lose? But I understand. I watched the Joker movie. I understand burning everything down to start again. I get that philosophy, that way of thinking. Menu has to be smirking, says TK. Kweku, big up Kweku in the building, people. I do, but he has zero credit in the bank. Is that Maresca? Is that you wanting Maresca, Kweku? Is that your response to that question? I'm not gonna lie, Maresca and Barada were at Man City, right? With Wilcox, right? Let's just get that straight. Wilcox, Barada, and Maresca were at Man City. So as much as you guys don't want Maresca, I don't know. It makes logical sense if we get him in. It does. I don't want Maresca. For me, these are the managers that come to my mind. Areola, he's probably the first. Glasner, and I know you guys are going to tell me about Glasner's three at the back system. Glasner does not always play that. Glasner can adapt. He plays three at the back at Palace. It doesn't mean he will necessarily play three at the back at Man United. Oh, Amorim. Quaker, you're talking about Amorim? All right, yeah. Amorim's got zero credit in the bank. Big up Quaku, my guy. Congo. Oh, Quaku from Ghana. Big up my Guyanese, you know. I was told man was from Ghana, yeah, and my mouth went to Guyanese. Those are two. Guyana and Ghana are from two different continents. Big up my Ghanaians. Flipping heck. I was about to get shot, you know. Garnacho, like the post by Fabrizio on Amorim sacking. Garnacho is a menace, bro. He's a terror, bro. That's crazy. TK is funny. Thank you for that, Wiz. Cat Pillow is stoic and shares your thoughts. He just pinged me. That's funny. Acho says, I give Amorim props for firing shots at the board, but dash where him, man. Dash where him, man. What happened to? Yeah, man, dash him. Listen. you gotta give credit where credit's due. You can't always just be hateful, bro. You know, you gotta find the nuances and stuff. No more Portuguese or Dutch managers, please, says Sausage Express. Portuguese? Yeah, no more Portuguese. Yeah. You're right. Okay, I hear you. I'm with you, Sausage. I had to think about it. I'm thinking Dutch and Portuguese. Yeah, you're right. No manager that's managed in some 5th tier Portuguese league. I got to remind myself that he was doing well in Portugal, but Portuguese football and the Portuguese league is like the 5th tier. It's like the Premier League, Spain, Germany, France, Italy. In fact, it's 6th, then Portugal. So we hired a man who was doing bits, in essentially the 2nd division. That's what we did. I need to hire a manager who's already doing bits in the Premier League with raisins. If you have a rock and you turn that rock into gold in the Premier League, then come and manage my football club. If you are managing a team like Bournemouth, and you've got them cooking, then come and manage my football club. Because it shows me that you can make mediocre great. You can make small big. It shows me you can do this. It shows me you can work with limited resources, which is what we have. We don't have a lot of money and we have limited resources. If you can work with limited resources and turn this shit around and squeeze the most out of all your players, get the best out of them, then come and manage my football club right now. Right now. That's all. That's all. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Amrim seems like outside of football, because I don't see eye to eye with him when it comes to football, his views, his tactics. I don't see eye to eye. But when he speaks, people fall in love with him. The reason why a lot of people like him is because he's passionate, bro. Anyone who's passionate about what they do and they love what they do, and you can see that it means something, and they wear their heart on their sleeve, sometimes that person is easy to like. Sometimes that people, if they say what they feel, and they always say what they feel, just like you do in the comfort of your own home, and they're saying certain things that you also say as a fan, you're going to be connected with them. Rúben Amorim did well. He sided with the fans, spoke about the players being rubbish and all these things like the fans do, and he got very quickly, he was endeared and he was loved by the fans very quickly because of how he spoke and what he did. The psychology of how Amorim quickly got into the hearts of the fan base without actually doing anything, and how other managers who had better win records, better played better football than him, they were disliked a lot more than Amorim. And I feel like that needs to be studied, bro. The psychology of that needs to be studied. Acho says we'll get top 4, and he's saying it with full chest, so we know who to come for. If we don't, we come for Acho. Acho, it's on you. I'm not joking, I'm playing. Big up Kwaku. It's really too bad that we can't share pics. Yeah, that would be sick, TK, if we could do that. I ain't gonna lie, we'll be laughing forever, bro. If we could do it. You guys will be, I know what you guys are like in the chat. You guys will be going crazy. My channel will get banned. My channel will get banned, bro. You guys will be doing the maddest stuff if we could do that. I know you, TK. You crazy. But the Discord is coming. I'm not an IT guy, but it is what it is. I'm trying to do a Discord for the channel as well. 100% chosen about Amorim speaking. I do think some people actually fancy him after hearing him speak in presses. Yeah. Atro, I've spoken about this. They call themselves, there's a name for them. I see it online. They call themselves Amorim sexuals. What Amorim's also done is taken a lot of Portuguese people. A lot of Portuguese people love him. And there's a large Portuguese contingent that now watches United game just for Amorim. You got to understand that Amorim, there's not a lot of managers that look at Amorim. He's got full head of hair, no baldness, no nothing. All nice, wet, slick, greasy, whatever. He's what you call tall, dark. Yeah, he's got dark features, dark hair, beard always lined up, speaks passionately, speaks well. Even though he doesn't speak English, he still speaks well. A lot of people feel like he's a breath of fresh air and they like the way he sounds. When you ask somebody, what do you like about Rúben Amorim? A lot of times Rúben Amorim fans will say, I like how he sounds. And that's it. I like the way he speaks. They can't tell you about his football. They can't say they like his football. They tell you something about, oh, yeah, I like the way he handles himself in the press conference. I like the way he speaks the truth. All of these things that they will say about him. So you know what they like about him. Nothing to do with the football. Sometimes ask people questions and ask people enough questions and you'll find out about what they like, what they don't like, and why. Yeah, Dara. Big up Dara as well, bro. You're right. 5th place could get us Champions League football as well, guys. Guys, top 4, top 5 is there for the taking. I keep saying this is a rubbish Premier League, guys. Corner Boys. You got Arsenal fans shouting out Corner Boys FC. This league is crap. It's rubbish, and the football that's played in it is terrible. You can't convince me. I'm here every week, every day watching my team, watching football. The football in the Premier League this year is atrocious. Top 4 is there, guys. It is there. Do a poll. What happens next? What happens first? Next manager sacked or Discord established? Oh, TK, I'm trying, TK. And also, TK, I'm gonna need more mods in Discourse. In the Discord. Because with Discord, because there's less rules, people can do the maddest things in it. And I will need people to fully manage the Discord. Also, I don't think I'm big enough. I feel like I'm a little man. And I know I've got 600 subscribers, but I feel like, do I have enough people to start a Discord? You guys, listen, at the end of the day, guys, this is your channel. So you guys let me know. Let me know. Tell me what to do sometimes, because sometimes I don't know. Sometimes, guys, I don't know. So I need to talk to you guys and we can do this shit together. Yeah? As a community, as we do. Cool. Anyway, I think we've gone through most of the news. What's this? Oh, Gary Neville. All right, I'm not gonna lie. I have a love-hate relationship with Gary Neville. When he talks about Man United, sometimes I'm like, Gary Neville, shush. You have vested interests. You have conflict of interest. All of these things. I don't always trust you when you speak about Man United. Sometimes I'm like, Gary Neville, shush. Other times I'm like, okay, let's hear what Gary Neville has to say. Like when he's on commentary and he's commentating on other clubs, I think I can bear him a bit more. He's all right. But when he speaks on Man United issues, I feel like the bias comes out a bit too much. So I'm not always Gary Neville's best friend. But he said, I do think this league this year is below average. I do think this Manchester United team are still in a position whereby they can get into the Champions League. I think we all think that as well. So he agrees with us. They need an experienced coach who knows how to get them over the line. And Manchester United do need to return to a back 4 with wide players who can go and basically... All right, that's when I'm like, don't be telling what we need to return to and all these things. You're not the manager. This is what Rúben Amorim was talking about. Exactly what Rúben Amorim was. This is why you got to be fair, guys. You can't be black and white. I agree with what Gary Neville was saying at the first paragraph, but when he starts dictating and saying United need to do this and stuff, I'm like, I mean, that's his opinion. He's entitled to his opinion, but you're now starting to see what Rúben Amorim was talking about with regards to the ex-players and Gary Neville maybe having a bit too much influence. That's what I'm going to say. So that's Gary. Let me know what you guys think about that. Going to a back 4. Is top 5 there for the taking? Do you agree? I agree. I think it is. I mean, we're only a few points away. So it is there. We are able to do it. And people who want us to spend loads and loads of money, I keep saying, listen, we need to start qualifying for Europe. We need to get into the Champions League. We need to get certain money. And once we do that, we can spend more money. We are in debt. We are in absolute filthy debt. Let's not forget that. Anyway, guys, we're coming towards the end. This is Rúben Amorim's record. So I feel like I've tried to give a nuance or try to build a nuance conversation. Yes, a lot of us are happy that he's gone, but it's not perfect. The situation's dire. INEOS are accountable as well, as much, even maybe more than Amorim for this shit show. And this is his legacy, people. We're going to end with this manager's, however you want to paint it, whether you like him, whether you're Amorim sexual, whether you're Amorim hater. This is just the facts of the matter. We're going to 15 wins, 13 draws, and 19 losses, guys. He has more losses as a Man United manager than wins. 15 wins, 19 losses. Wow. And that is just the fact that will be his record. No trophies won, 14 months, and the worst win percentage of any manager we've ever had. And that is his legacy, guys. That is his legacy. Let's look at the table. If you guys can see the screen, for comparison, there is a list of our recent managers. Look where Rúben Amorim is. There's no one even close to him. There's no one close to him. All the other managers are in the 50 percentiles, 50% and above. And then look at Rúben Amorim, 36.9%. This is just facts. All the other things we can argue about, we can talk about, and I love to talk deeply. I love nuance. I love the grey areas in football. There's not enough characters in a tweet to have these sort of conversations. So these conversations that we have on this channel are important. They're necessary. But this, what you can see, is factual. And let's be honest, guys, it's abysmal. Yes, contextualize. We're going through a rebuild on all of these things. But 36% when the nearest is Lou Van Gaal with 52. That's crazy to me, guys. That is crazy. So all that we've said, with all that we've said today and all the discussions, that is a fact. And all the next manager needs to do, really, at this point, is better that. It's better that. Let me know, guys. Let me know. What do we do now? Once again, here are the 21 defeats under Rúben Amorim. Let's go through them. We got time. Guys. All right. December 24th. We're not going to see the dates, but you guys can see the dates. You guys can see the list. 2-0 Arsenal. 3-2 lost against Forest. December 24th. So his first two games, right? Or at least two, not the first two, to be fair. But those are two losses because he took over before Arsenal. 4-3 loss to Spurs. 3-0 loss to Bournemouth. Flipping neck. 2-0 loss to Wolves. My lord. This was all last season. 2-0 loss to Newcastle. 3-1 loss to Brighton. 2-0 loss to Crystal Palace. 1-0 loss to Spurs. By the way, the Brighton and Crystal Palace games were at home. And the Newcastle game was at home. 1-0 loss to Forest. 4-1 loss to Newcastle away. We lost to Wolves. So last season, we lost to Wolves home and away last season, guys. 4-3 loss to Brentford. 2-0 loss to West Ham. 1-0 loss to Chelsea. And of course, the Europa League final 1-0 loss to Spurs. And in this season, we lost only, which is better. And this is why it's interesting. Halfway through the season, only 5 losses. Maybe 5 losses too many. But Arsenal, City, Brentford, that Everton loss at home is absolutely insane that we did that. And of course, Aston Villa. That's the record there, guys. That is his record. There, black and white in the flesh. Anyone want to ask you any questions? You've got this information. You know this information now. We all know. Factually, we've all looked back now. It's good. Now that the manager's gone, to look back at some of the things, look back at his time, his 12 months, contextualize things. Crazy. Absolutely insane. Very, very interesting. And let's look at goals scored and conceded as well, guys. Just to finish off, he has his team, his Manchester United team, has scored in all competitions 103 goals and conceded 95. So in all competitions, we just have a +8. A +8 goal difference in all competitions. But look at this, guys. Look at this. In the Premier League, we've scored 66 goals and conceded 72. He has a minus. He had a minus goal difference last season, but still he has a minus goal difference in the Premier League. Oh, guys. When you look at all these things, and I know this, we've removed context. We're not talking about the game specifically and what happened in the games. But when you just look at the data, how does he go in and say things like, Wilcox, don't tell me what to do? You know when Wilcox sits around with all the guys and he sees all of this crap, and then he goes to Amorim. Amorim, look at this data. We're not good. This is absolutely abysmal over the past 11 months. Like, something has to happen, Amorim. We've got to change something. No, I'm not changing. Go away. Don't tell me what to do. Don't breathe down my neck. Or, all right, I'm gonna play 4 at the back. I'm gonna do something different. And then on match day, you see a back 3. So in a way, you're like, how dare this manager say anything to the hierarchy when he's this crap? You can have that opinion. While at the same time, you still can hold the opinion that, listen, let him do his thing. He could turn it around. Leave him alone. I get both. Anyway, let's see the chat. The chat popping off. That 2-0 Wolves game. Main, Cunha looked at us like food, and Garnacho giving that second goal. I remember that game, Acho. That game was annoying. That game was so annoying, man. Yeah, Acho saying these defeats are crazy. Big up Osman in the chat. Osmaniac. Glasner is falling out with Palace board. he would be at war with the United board before his welcome cup of tea. It's cold. Is Glasner warring? Why is all of these managers are warring? Oh, niche fans in the chat. Big up, niche fan. Rúben Amorim is the most highly paid United manager based in pounds per minute played. Oh shit, niche fan. Oh, is it? At the same time, he is the worst performing United manager ever. The irony is so thick. Wow, that is irony fully, bro. I never knew that. Big up TK, bro. Big up T Kizzle. Federal Rico. Bro, this fan base, I don't know what's wrong with them. They can't even protest, the management will get away with anything. These guys, these fans, man. These fans. Big up Federal, man. Big up Dara. Yo, Chosen, chill. Every time you're saying these losses, I'm getting flashbacks. Them PT, bro, you notice, yeah, when I was speaking, yeah, my voice changed, bro. Like, you know, my voice changed because the sadness. Like right now, I'm like, yeah. But when I was reading that stuff out, yeah, you can tell the sadness in my voice. I was like, oh my Lord, this is crazy. Look at all these losses. It's hurting my soul. It's hurting my spirit. It's hurting my eyeballs. Like, it's crazy. All right, for no, just to provide the opposite, we got to do some propaganda. So we got to look at the wins as well. We got to look at the wins as well, my guy. Osmaniac preach, says TK. What's Federal saying? Times were different with Ronaldo. We have a whole heap of quality. Now it is scarce like water in the desert. I'm not hearing the likes of Mount and Bruno are quality. I feel like when's like in the situation that we're in, yeah, and to see how some of the fans treated Pogba's and the Martials and these guys left Man United with 5 trophies. Pogba can leave Man United winning the FA Cup, the Carling Cup, the Europa League. I think he won the Carling Cup twice. No, FA Cup twice. So all of these guys won trophies for us, and we booted them out. And there's people who haven't won anything for us. And look at us now. Some of these, when I look back at some of the times and some of the ways we treated the managers as well that we had, while giving Amorim so much time, I don't know. I wish we had this patience with someone like a maybe LVG or something. Maybe. I don't know. This is what happens when you give the wrong manager time. The era of world-class managers is over. I agree. I feel like there's a lot of good managers now. There's like a tier of 5 excellent managers, maybe world-class, maybe the Ancelottis, Pep, and a few more. Then I feel like there's a tier of like 50 just really good managers. There's not a lot of managers that leap out to me. And I think it's not just the managers. I feel like it's the state of football and the football that I see that is played and the quality of footballer that is around at this stage or at this time of football means that managers have to manage a certain way. I think it starts with the quality of players. We don't get the amazing players anymore, the absolute maverick ballers. Really, I mean, we get the Lamine, the Miles, like here or there. But I'm looking around, I'm like, where are the Neymars? Where the Hazards? Where the Eden Hazard? Not even at the world class elite. I'm talking about just a level below that. Where are those players coming? I don't know, guys. I'm just putting it out there. Just thinking out loud. Dara says the Bournemouth one was a stab in the heart. Yeah, all of those ones were a stab in the heart. Federico charges and actual. He only has a minus goal difference because he tries to defend and forgets to attack. Atro, I've never liked this manager's pragmatic and defensive mindset. He's scared. He thinks having more defenders on the pitch means you maybe control the game more and therefore attack. I don't know what his mindset is, but it's very, very different to what Fergie would have done, for sure. Whoever voted for Southgate as permanent, 20 lashes. I agree with TK. I agree with TK. But the bookies have him high again now. The bookies are always trying to scare us with Southgate. But also, we're in England, so the bookies are going to push the British thing. They're going to push the English thing as well. Shivam says, Wiz, everyone knows the sacking wasn't because of the results. It was because Amorim showed the true picture of this club. I agree, Shivam. Shivam, I'm not even disagreeing with that. That's why it leaves Shivam, that is why I keep saying it leaves a nasty taste in my mouth. The Nevilles and Scholes and Keanes can say whatever they want. Fact is fact. Is Northgate available? Federal, you're funny. Eastgate. Imagine Fletcher plays a back three. Oh my lord. Listen. All of this talk and Darren Fletcher comes in and plays a back three. He might do. He might be listen. He might say, listen, play. We're gonna continue with what you know. You have been hit over the head, hammered over the head with a back three over the 12 months. So if you guys know that, we're gonna. I hope not. But imagine, bro, that will be trauma. Guys, don't be delusional. Even if we bring up Pep, Fergie, Wenger, Xavi, Zidane with this management, owners, players will never go anywhere. Ronaldo was the best player in the world, first time, not second. But the quality when he first left was great. So it was a blow, but not massive. Losing Kobe would be. I just heard Fletcher plays 2-3-3-3-2-1. Some kind of numbered formations. I call it United DNA. It sounds like you're trying to state a DNA structure there. 2-3-3-2-1 is a DNA structure. Cool. Chat's popping. TK said the bookies get 40 lashes. No more Neymars, unfortunately. No more Neymars because everyone has to run 100 miles an hour and track back. Everyone has to run 1,100 kilometers every game and sprint back. Neymar's, Messi's, these guys, that they're not built like that. The way football is played and the way the football will continue to be played means that there's no room for a maverick footballer like that in your team. And if there is a room for him, he'll be the only one. We only can have one Cunha. We can't have 3 Cunhas not running back and not chasing back because we'll concede too many goals. That is it. We don't have time or space for these kind of footballers because of how football is played now. Football is an athletic game. It always has been, but even more so. They'd rather have 11 mediocre players that are aggressive and run around and beat their man with their one-to-one presses and do all these things, and that do exactly what the kinky manager tells them to do, does exactly what the coach tells them to do. They'd rather have that than have a maverick footballer that does what they want on the football pitch and won't track back, won't do some of these things. That is it. That is what's happening in football. So artistically, football is getting worse. It's getting more competitive maybe, but artistically, it is declining. If you watch football for sport, which all of us still do, you're still going to continue watching it for sport. But if you watch football to be entertained, skills and all these other things, you're going to see less of that. And we forget that people watch football for different reasons. The dopamine that you get when your team wins is amazing. My team wins, yeah, great. But you spend 2 hours watching that football just to get a feeling of dopamine when you win. How about you enjoy the process? How about those 2 hours you spent watching football, you actually watch good football rather than watching shit football and just waiting to feel good when your team wins? If that's the case, why even watch the match? Just wait until the results are out and then feel good when you win. I don't know. There's so many ways you can look at it, but that's one of my theories about where we're going with football. Just to finish, like I said, to put this man in good light, we must always also remember that he has 12 wins in 12 months. So as much as I'm saying this is the flip side of the losses, and we must give him credit, when you say it out loud, 12 wins in 12 months, bro. Quick maths, it's an average of 1 win a month. So we are saying that on average, we are only seeing our football club win 1 match a month. Guys, that is crazy. Let's look at the wins. Everton 4-0. I remember that game, one of the first games. Rashford. Manchester City. Let's forget Ahmad's 2. I love that game. Ahmad's 2 goals. That last goal from Ahmad when he controlled it and he volleyed it with his... Oh, beautiful. Beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. Those 2 assists from Martinez, I remember it vividly. I was like, Ahmad, hello. I remember that game. I'm never going to forget City games. Southampton, once again, Ahmad hat-trick. This is also the reason why when you guys was talking about selling Ahmad after he was our best player last season, especially Shivam in the chat, when Shivam was like, Ahmad this, I was like, Shivam, sit down, please. Please, Shivam. Look what Ahmad did for us last season. Fulham, 1-0, Leacher, late deflected shot. We beat a relegated Ipswich, own goal. We beat a relegated Leicester. And we beat Aston Villa 2-1 because Martinez, don't forget, had a red card, right? I remember that game. And that's all the wins last season. This season, we beat Burnley because of a last-minute own goal and penalty. An own goal and a last-minute penalty. We beat Chelsea because Chelsea had 10 men. We beat Sunderland, which was a good result, to be fair. Beat Liverpool, but since we beat Liverpool, I think 5 other teams went on to slap them. And even though we beat them and they've lost like 5 games in a row or something, they're still ahead of us, I think. Are they? And we beat Brighton 4-2 on goals. So, even the wins, even a lot of the wins, guys, weren't convincing. It weren't convincing. So, it is what it is, guys. The manager is gone. The manager is gone. Goodbye, Amorim. Thank you for your efforts. I'm trying to be positive in a way. Thank you for your efforts. I can't say I enjoyed the 12 months that you've been here. I can't say I have, because I haven't. It wasn't always your fault. A lot of it isn't your fault. You have to play the players you're dealt with. I don't think you got the most out of the players, and I feel like you did a lot of things wrong. You came out yourself and said that 75% of the things last season you would have done differently. So good luck on your next endeavors, Rúben Amorim. I got no other bad words for you. You've gone now, you've left, which is what a lot of us wanted. So good. And we just have to wait, guys, until we find out who the next manager will be. We have a show on Wednesday, but at the same time, we are playing on Wednesday. So we will have our watch along for the Burnley game on Wednesday, guys. We will start our stream at 7:30. I think the game's 8 p.m. kickoff. So we'll start at 7:30. By then, I'm pretty sure, guys, loads of other news will have been released regarding Manchester United. This is also interesting. I think I'm going to leave this with you guys. Before we go and wrap up. Rúben Amorim prepared for Wolves in a similar way to the games against Bournemouth and Newcastle. We did well against Bournemouth and we beat Newcastle. And again, in both games, we kind of saw a slight change in Amorim's approach. And we prepared for Wolves in the same way. So we all assumed that it would be similar, a back four. It goes on to say the squad had trained in the last 2 sessions with a back four and were expecting to line up in that formation and attack Wolves. However, there was a palpable sense of surprise and confusion among the United players when he called the squad together beforehand and told them there was a change of plan. United were reverting to a back three. So, despite coaching them into a back four for the last 2 sessions, everyone thinking we're going to do a back four. Don't forget, he would have spoken to Wilcox and he would have said to Wilcox, yes, Wilcox, I will play a back four. Only to then sit down and be like, you know what, fuck it. Why am I even listening to this guy? Why am I getting told, fuck it, I'm going to continue with my back three. Even though I lose most of the time, I'm going to continue. He changed his mind, right? He goes on to say, this is basically a tweet from Chris Wheeler, by the way. A dressing room source said he was mumbling as he tried to explain to them. The players got the impression he didn't have everything under control. He seemed full of self-doubt and quite insecure. That is telling. If this is true, that is damning. In many ways. In many ways. He didn't know what he wanted to do. I feel like he was caught. Like, I've always said this about Rúben Amorim, because I can psychoanalyze people very quickly when they start speaking and kind of figure out what kind of person they are. He's a very stubborn guy. He thinks his quirky 3-4-2-1 formation is above everything. It's his formation or nothing else. He doesn't care about anything else, about what the players, getting the best out of the players or nothing. He's clearly torn. He doesn't want to back down away from his system. He truly believes in it. And he doesn't want to listen to his boss. Very telling, guys. I'm going to leave that with you. This has been a good session. We started what time? 7:15? 8:15, 9:15. 2 hours show. And I feel like we needed at least 2 hours. We needed to vent. We needed to release. We needed to say what we need to say. You guys have said your piece. The manager is gone. It's a new era, but the optimism isn't. It's weird, guys. The optimism isn't there. It isn't fully there for me, and I've explained why. So, big up the chat. Big up everyone. Maybe if I don't like to talk like that. If AFCON wasn't on, because AFCON does not need to be in December. Why can't AFCON be in the summer? It's a disrespect to AFCON anyway. But maybe if AFCON wasn't on and he still had his players, he wouldn't have got sacked. I believe that if he didn't have said what he said in that press conference, he might not have got sacked. He might not have. He might not have. So big up the chat. The beauty of this situation is that none of us know what's beyond the wall. None of us know what's on the other side. None of us know what the future holds. And we're all in this situation together as Manchester United fans. We're all here together thinking, what the fuck? That's one thing we can all share, right? We're all here saying, what the fuck? All of us. So big up you guys. Male, female, he, she, them, all of these things in my chat. Equal opportunities, equality and all that. Big up everyone. Don't know what else to say, guys, if I'm being honest. Feel like my head is fried. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. That's the thing, that's what it is. I'm just tired now, guys. I'm tired, I'm exhausted. But a new chapter, a new dawn should be happening soon. So let's try to be optimistic at the same time. He's gone. The poet is gone. I can't believe he's gone. I'm still sitting there thinking, I can't believe he's gone. After all that, they sacked him because of that. They really sacked him because of that. Strange. Anyway, big up the chat. Really good show. Really good show. Yeah, Federal, Rico, Atro, T Kizzle, Dara, Niche, Federal. Yeah, this is one of those good streams because I think in the chat we had over Osman, Dara. In the chat we had, listen, I'm a small YouTuber. You guys know this, all right? In the chat we had over 20 people just chatting, doing their thing. Let's keep it up, guys. Let's keep up this momentum. We have no idea what's going to happen on Wednesday. Wednesday's game has a whole new feel about it. Oh, Fletcher. Who's Fletcher going to start? What's his team going to be? What's the press conference going to be like? There has to be a press conference. And if our game's on Wednesday, usually the press conference would be today. So what's Fletcher's press conference going to be like? There's so much for us to listen. We might have to go live tomorrow. I don't know, guys. So big up Dara, Atro, Tank as well. Kwaku, big up Kwaku. Some new faces. I hope you guys like and share and subscribe as well. Share the video with your friends. Ballin Nane Games as well. So a few new faces. Hopefully you guys stay. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, all that nice stuff. Eddie Blacks, big up Eddie. Big up yourself, guys. Enjoy your Monday. This is the biggest news of probably the month, maybe the year. I don't know. So enjoy your Monday. Enjoy your evening. Some of you guys are abroad. You're not in the UK, so enjoy yourselves. We'll be back here definitely Wednesday. Like I said, 7:30. If anything happens tomorrow, if there is a press conference from Fletcher or something, we might go live for a little bit and talk about it. So big up everybody. It's been absolutely lovely. It's been a pleasure. Today's MVP, TK says, is Federal Rico. Yeah, Federal Rico was on one today. Big up Federal Rico, MVP of the day, man. Some good conversations, some good points that you made, some funny points as well, bro. So big up yourself, Federal Rico. Charges, what is the poll? There's been a poll, guys. Not a lot of you voted, but enough of you voted in the poll. Out of the 4 managers, it seems like Glasner pips Emre. So 50% of the people wanted Glasner, followed by Emre. All right, guys, big up. Like the video. Make sure you come back and also leave a comment so it can get promoted by the YouTube algorithm. The YouTube, trying to push new people like me. We're going up. We are moving up. 607 subscribers to go. 608 after today. So we got 1 new subscriber from today's stream. Our goal is 1,000 by the end of the season. If we can get 1,000 by the end of the season, I will be a happy Rasta. Happy Rastafari. Rastafari, get ready, Selassie. I'm playing. Big up everybody. Like the video, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Big up.